Everyone, back tuning into today's video. We're going to have a look at weather for the next 8 to 10 days in today's video, which will be taking us up towards the middle of June. So we're getting well on into the month, to the 15th. Looks like we're going to be seeing some high pressure building in next week, so we may settle things down somewhat as we go for next week. We'll have a look at all the charts in a moment. Also going to have a look at the end of the video at the chance of some thunderstorms on Saturday. A bit of a Spanish plume is on the way, so we'll have a look at that as well. Very interesting developments for the weekend. But before I get on with the video, just to say about the advertising, best video ads, my page is at GazWeathers.com. And you get play on the video ad to be supporting GazWeathers.com. Thanks very much for doing that. So just to start, we're going to look at what happened in May in terms of central temperature. We've got the phone number in from Hadley now. May comes out central temperature of 12.2, which is an anomaly of 1.1 degrees above average, so still above average for May, and that was expected, of course, when I did the May month ahead forecast. But I thought we'd probably have less of an anomaly this month in May, and indeed that's what occurred. Through 2014 so far, been running around 2 degrees above average. Have January with an anomaly of 1.9, February 2.4, March 2.0, and April 2.3. So generally running around 2.5 degrees above average, but we've come down to around a degree above average for May. So yeah, we're still above average, still above where we should be in terms of the 61 to 90 average, but we're lower in terms of the anomaly than has been the case so far in 2014. June, by the way, already comes out at 14.2 provisionally, and that again is an anomaly of around 1 degree above average. So it does appear that at the moment we've gone from running around 2 degrees above average to running around 1 degree above average. Whether this lowers further as we go through the summer, we'll have to wait and see. It could be that we're going to go down towards average, or maybe even go below average, or perhaps we'll tick back up, get that anomaly of 2 degrees above average again. We're just going to have to wait and see how it develops. I think the anomaly probably will tick up a bit actually next week, because we're going to have high pressure building in. These are the 500 millibar height anomaly flow charts for 8 to 10 days time, so this will be taking us to around the 15th of June. We've got the ECMWF here on the left, GFS is over on the right. Blue indicating below average heights, that's high pressure. Orange indicating above average heights, that's high pressure. ECMWF shows that in 8 to 10 days time you're going to have an area of high pressure sat right over top of the charts. That is quite an intense area of high pressure sitting there, properly centred over the country. The GFS is similar, does build heights in from the Atlantic, but it's slightly more centred to the west. So although it is a lot drier and it probably isn't that cool, it's probably around near normal with temperatures, it's not quite as good as the ECMWF, because with that you'd be getting some northerly or northeasterly influences at times with the position of that high pressure, whereas on the ECMWF that high pressure really is very centrally based over the top of the country. But both of them sort of agree, and as we go through the second week of June up to the middle of the month, we're likely to be seeing the weather turning more settled. Here is the GFS temperature and precipitation ensembles. Temperatures, first of all, red line is where we should be at this time of year. We're going above average, well above average over the next couple of days. That's as this plume comes up from the south that I was talking about at the start of the video, but there is a risk of thunder with that. And we're going to be staying above average really for the next couple of weeks, for the foreseeable future. Most members of the ensemble do stay above the red line, so quite a warmish spell coming up. The precipitation ensembles show that we have got some rainfall associated with that increase in temperature on Saturday. That's the thundery breakdown, of course. And risk of some showers or longer spells of rain perhaps at the start of next week. But from around the 11th of June, I should say, there is a dry trend emerging here. Not completely dry, but certainly a lot drier running up to the middle of the month. And that's as that area of high pressure begins to build in that we saw on the height anomaly flow charts. The temperature anomaly for the next week, the 5th to the 13th of June, shows going to be running above average. And look how most of Europe is above average as well. Virtually from the far southwest across Spain and Portugal up to the northeast into western Russia, it's above average. Have to go down to Turkey to find anomalies coming out below average. A very warm week coming up for most of Europe next week. The precipitation anomaly for the next week shows it's still going to be a bit wetter than average in the north, but a little bit drier than average actually in the south, and again that's that high pressure builds up from the Azores. Having a look at the generic charts is the GFS, I should say, for Thursday, the 12th of June, in a week's time. We've got high pressure here sitting nicely over the country at 1,025 millibars. So after an unsettled start to next week with risk of some showers, maybe some long spells of rain, maybe another thundery plume Monday, Tuesday, things should settle down as we go through the middle and latter stages of next week. And that's really the trend as we move to the end of next week. This is Friday the 13th. High pressure nicely settled in across the country. That high pressure stays with us today, 10, certainly the 15th of June. Although we have got a little trough here in the flow, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. It's a very bizarre chart, that it's a little trough of low pressure within a big area of high pressure. So I think when we get to the time frame, that's probably going to be eradicated. And the basic idea is that through next week, high pressure should be building in. ECWF is very similar. There's the high pressure ridging in nicely on Thursday, the 12th in a week's time. It'll be mainly warm, dry and sunny. And remember, the ECM wants to keep that high pressure more or less centred over the country. So here we are on Friday the 13th, high pressure very nicely in across the country. You'll be seeing temperatures up to around 24, 25 degrees, with that into the upper 70s Fahrenheit, and it will be largely dry and sunny as well. And that high pressure still goes on today, 10, sunny the 15th, very nice area of high pressure. Not sure we quite call it a heat wave, but it's certainly warm, very warm, dry and sunny. Probably after that it will break down this area of low pressure beginning to move in off the Atlantic, but let's not dwell too much on that. It's day 10, it's a long way off, and certainly I think through the second week of the month the idea is, as it has been for quite a while, that we're going to build in high pressure and settle things down and warm them up. Now, just have a quick look at this thundery breakdown before I go. That's coming up on Saturday. Here is the chart for Saturday, the latest one from the GFS. High pressure up to the northeast, low pressure out to the Atlantic. Bring up these southerly winds, that's bringing the heat from England into France, into the British Isles. As we go through Saturday, this trough begins to move eastwards, bring cooler air in off the Atlantic, hitting that heat, and that's what gives us the thundery potential. So here's the convective potential chart. Remember, the brighter the colour, the higher the risk of convection, and at 6 o'clock in the morning we have got risk of some convection even then, so you may be woken up early on Saturday morning by some rumbles of thunder, and things will get more intense as we go through the day. Look at these vibrant yellow and orange colours right across England and Wales at midday on Saturday, indicating some violent thunderstorms breaking out, and then the whole thing sort of starts to shift northwards and eastwards through the course of Saturday. But precipitation is interesting. Even at 6 o'clock in the morning there's risk of some thunderstorms across England and Wales, so you could well be woken up early on Saturday by some loud rumbles, flashes of lightning. Things probably calming down a bit through the morning and then sparking up again through the afternoon. That's what I think is going to play out. So as we get through towards 6 o'clock in the evening on Saturday, some very intense thunderstorms are possible there in western parts of the country. Notice Scotland, northeast England, and even down into East England and the southeast, not really getting much, and there it could stay dry. And certainly for East England and southeastern England, if those showers don't roll in until late on in the day into the evening, there's potential for it to get very warm down in the far southeast. So I'm not sure quite how high the temperatures are going to go as we get through to Saturday, but if you're in East Anglia or southeastern England, it could be a very warm day with those thunderstorms holding off until evening. We may see temperatures certainly as high as 27, that's 81, possibly even going a little bit higher than that. So it'll be interesting to see how high those temperatures go in the far southeast. But for central western areas, you're going to have your temperatures limited, but there's going to be some very intense, violent thunderstorms breaking out, some big lightning flashes, fault lightning, very loud thunder, and some hail thrown in as well. So it's a really interesting day's weather coming up on Saturday. That's it for now. Hope you found the video interesting. It's JMA Friday tomorrow. Have a look at the month ahead forecast from the Japanese model. But that's all for now, and thanks for watching.